Greetings YouTube, Captain Machine back for another update, and I'd like to talk about the channel once again. And I'd like to say that first of all, the plan is in the future, in the very near future, to get back onto a regular schedule. One, maybe 2 videos a week, and that's something I've not been doing for a long time, so expect to see that in the future. Secondly, we're going to talk about news within the gaming community, and more precisely the news that interests me, because granted, there are plenty of bits of news out there for role-playing stuff, but I don't hear all of it. I really should get back into that as well. That's something I really will be needing to do if I'm going to be doing a show on a regular basis. Firstly, Pagan Publishing, who have finished doing the review for their Delta Green line, have announced that they're going to be continuing the Unspeakable Oath magazine, which was a fanzine created many moons ago and got up to issue 17, and I've got a fair few copies of them on my shelf and they are fantastic. Is the new one going to stack up to Worlds of Cthulhu? Only time will tell, and I'm pretty sure that once I get my hands on Unspeakable Oath, I will do a direct comparison to the two and let you know which one to get. The answer is both. And yeah, so really looking forward to that. They're accepting submissions, so I'm working on an article which I want to submit to them. What is it about? I'm not telling you because you'll steal my idea and you'll make it better. I'm not the best writer in the world, but I'd like to give it a go. Secondly, Warhammer 8th edition is on the horizon. I'm really excited about this. I shouldn't be, because the honest truth is that I've never ever played Warhammer before. I had a very small Chaos Army back in the day, and I got precisely 3 games out of it before I stopped playing it, basically. And not due to any, unliking of the genre. It just seemed a bit too clunky at the time and a bit too rigid and a bit too cash dependent. Now I'm much older, much wiser, and more precisely, I've got a better paying job, so I can afford a Warhammer army. And when I got back into wargaming early last year, I got into 40k because 40k is what I've known. I've played 40k since 2nd edition. I've played all the incarnations of it. I've played Epic, I've played Necromunda, I've played Gorka Morka. I haven't played Inquisitor, but that's more role-playing game than a war game anyway, so. And plus the fact that the models, I didn't like the idea of the larger scale models to use with the thing. I wanted them to include, I've got the Inquisitor rulebook, I wanted them to include the option of playing it with 25mm figures. Now obviously people are saying, well, you can do that anyway, you just adapt everything. But you know what, I think one page in the back of the book as an appendices, it just says, look, we know everyone doesn't have 40mm scale figures. If you want to play with 25mm, here are the conversions. End of. And you know what? It would have been such a good game if they'd just done that. Granted, it might not have sold as many 40mm figures, but my understanding is it didn't sell that many 40mm figures anyway, which is why we don't have the damn line anymore. Either way, 8th edition, it got me really excited. It's gone back to the core roots, from what I can see, of having mass infantry on the table. It got to the point where a army consisted of about 2 really powerful characters, 2 tiny minimum units which you had to get because you had to, because rules said you had to, and then the rest of it filled with monsters and specialist regiments and siege weapons, which for me is not what a Warhammer army should look like. So the fact they've gone back to emphasising the core regiments really got me excited. So I've decided I'm going to, I'll show you, this is my army at the moment. You can see that there. This is my Goblin army. So I've got 60 Night Goblins, that's 1 regiment right there. I've got some characters, I've got some Shamans and some Spider Riders. I'm probably going to cut the Goblins off the Spider Riders, and I'm going to put Night Goblins on there. So I want Night Goblin, people that ride, or basically Night Goblins that ride spiders. That's the idea. The entire thing's going to be a Night Goblin army. Is it going to be competitive? Hell no. But that's not going to stop me. Now, we have got confirmation that this is going to be a 500 and I think it's 28 pages. And I was wrong. I really was wrong. I thought that the reason why they were going to have a massive page count was due to the fact that they were going to have armor lists in there, because they were rewriting the rules to the point where the armor list wouldn't work anymore. That doesn't seem to be the case anymore. However, it does mean there's a large catalogue in it where they show pictures of all the current model range for every single army. So effectively, it's a catalogue, or some of it is a catalogue. Is that going to stop me buying it? No, I've already pre-ordered it. I'm going to get it, I'm going to play it regardless. I'm probably going to pick up the mini rulebook that comes with the box set that comes out later this year, September, October time. But there you go. So 8th edition on its way. Expect videos about that too. And also, I'm back on the painting wagon for my orcs. Expect videos about that. In fact, as a aside, because I am starting to cover more than just role-playing games, I will be putting little tags up on the titles of the videos, which will either say news or RPG or board game or war game, or it'll have the name of the war game if it's specifically to that one, or video game. And basically the idea is that you, as a subscriber, because I get a lot of subscribers now, and I'm pretty sure that all of you don't want to see everything I do, because you've either come here because you like my orcs, or you've come here because you like my RPG reviews, or you've come here because you like my ranting, and so on and so forth. So there's that in. I'm going to start doing that, so it's going to be easier to filter out what you do and do not want to watch. I would prefer if everyone watched everything, but you can't please all the people all the time. Okay. Finally, going to do some shout outs. Two big ones. The first is Tessubo, and basically Tessubo's this guy who lives in America, does lots of fantastic RPG reviews, lots of classic stuff, lots of stuff I've never heard of, which is great, because especially back in the early days of role-playing, not Dungeons & Dragons, but role-playing in general, there was a lot of stuff that you never heard about because the internet wasn't around to make it known. So he does some fantastic reviews. He also does some social commentary and things like that, and I agree with the majority of what he says. There are a couple of things which we disagree on, but I'm pretty sure that he doesn't mind the fact that we disagree on different issues, and I respect him for that, and hopefully vice versa. Secondly is the Game Hoarder. By the way, both of their links will be on the sub bar. Who is criminally undersubscribed. Go subscribe to this guy. This guy does Let's Plays. He does lots and lots of Let's Plays. He does have a history in role-playing. He did a video where he shows his role-playing collection off, and it makes me envious because he's got more box sets than I do. I love box sets. I must do a video about box sets at some point in the near future. And he's done all the Eye of the Beholders. He's done the Ravenloft game. He's doing the second Ravenloft game. He's doing Dark Sun. He's doing other role-playing games. He's doing Mega Drive games, and yeah, it's great to watch these games and relive the nostalgia. And the fact that he got further than me in Eye of the Beholder 2 is amazing. Granted, he completed it and I never did. But when I was playing it on the Amiga back in the day, I got so far before I couldn't get any further. And basically it's nice to see how that game ends without having to go to the expense of buying the game, running it on DOSBox, making all the alterations. And plus he gives a reasonably good commentary to the whole thing too. Makes me giggle. So there's two guys to go check out. There's other guys that I'm checking out at the moment, new guys, and I'm pretty sure that if you haven't already subscribed to them, I will be mentioning them at some point in the near future. Thanks for your time, guys. Goodbye.